Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Andrés Alarcón. I'm a Richmond academic consultant from Bogota. And well, it is my pleasure today to be leading this webinar on digital tools to develop reading and writing. Okay, we're going to have a moderator, as Jimena already told you. Her name is Jimena Lizalde, and she will be like somehow answering some questions. If you come up with some questions during the whole webinar, you can communicate with us by means of using the chat. Okay. So as Jimena already told you, you have to keep your microphones off. All right. So this webinar can't somehow like work smoothly. All right. Mm, so, as Jimena already told you to, at the end of the session, we're going to have like room for you to ask as many questions as you can. And however, this is something really important, and I want you to bear this information in mind. At the end of the session, I will provide you with different links, okay, that will take you to webinars, tutorials about the digital tools that I'm about to show you. Okay, so just in case that you find one of these websites, applications really interesting, well, you will have the chance to explore them, okay, or give them like a closer look afterwards. All right. So at the end of the session, I repeat, I'm going to provide you with all the links, okay, that will take you to different webinars and tutorials and will somehow explain in depth all the features about the digital tools that we will be working with. Okay. All right. So the first thing that I want you to do is to go to the chat here in Zoom, because I'm going to post a link. That link is going to say Nearpod. Okay, so I'm going to post the link. I already posted, but I'm going to do it again. Nearpod, and I want you to click on that link. So that link will take you to one of the digital tools we will be learning today. Okay, Nearpod, it is there. So you have the link there. Jimena, could you please help me, because all teachers are like writing, they're like saying hi. So probably the link is going to be lost because
I'm going
of the
to copy
number
it
of.
and yeah, don't worry. I'll copy it and paste it a million times. Don't worry.
All right. Okay. So that's the first activity that I want you to do. I want you to enter. I want you to click on the link that I just posted in the chat here in Zoom, and that link will take you to Nearpod. In Nearpod, we're going to work. Okay. During this webinar, we will be working with that application. All right. Moreover, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, just in case that you have a problem or something, I will be showing you what I'm doing all the time here. Okay, so let me know if you can see my screen now.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So teachers, I have a question. Are you in Nearpod? Can you see like the first slide that says digital tools to develop reading and writing? Can you see that first slide? You can communicate. Remember that you can communicate through the chat that we have in Zoom.
Most of them are saying yes, Andres.
All right, perfect. Okay, so these are the tools that we will be working with today. So number one is Mentimeter. All right, Mentimeter is our first digital tool. Number two is Google Docs. Then we're going to go over Google Classroom. We're going to learn how to use Write and Improve. Then we're going to take a look at Mayom. Probably most of you know it, or probably not. We're going to check that. Number six, we're going to check one digital tool that is called Santillana Portal, okay? And Nearpod. Nearpod is the digital tool we're using right now, okay? So as you can see, I prepare all my presentation with Nearpod, so that you teachers can see what are all those features that you can use when using this digital tool called Near. Okay.
Sorry, Andres. One of the teachers here is telling me that the app asks for a code. Is that so? Is it the code at the top of your screen, left hand?
Yeah, probably check that one, but it is supposed not to ask for any code, because just with the link, the teachers must be able to enter as the same way you did it.
Okay, so there shouldn't be a need for a code.
Yeah. However, why don't you try with the code that is there in the left upper corner of my screen, which is LRBSB, and see what happens. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
But once again, they should be able to enter with just the link.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Hi, hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right. Could you please keep your microphones off, and could you please enter to Nearpod? I'm going to post the link again. You just have to click on the link, and then it will take you to one application. Okay. So I'm going to post it again.
I just did. Don't worry. I just did.
All right. That's cool. Okay. So let's move on. So as I was telling you, we're going to go over 7 different, more than 4 students and engaging features within your coalition. Okay. All right. So teachers, if you're having problems like getting into Nearpod, I just recommend you to stay with me in Zoom, where I am sharing my screen. Okay, so you will be able to see everything, and you will be able to listen to me and stuff. Okay, so as I was telling you, we're going to cover 7 different digital tools. Okay, number one is called Mentimeter. Mentimeter is an interactive presentation software, okay? It allows teachers to engage the students better by means of different writing exercises, okay? Actually, it allows teachers to engage students in different ways, but today we're going to talk a little bit about the writing like exercises that Mentimeter allows teachers to come up with, okay? Something that I want you to do is that go to Mentimeter. I want you to go to Mentimeter and enter this code that you have here, 483064. 483064. How do you get to Mentimeter? Well, this is how you get there. With Nearpod, I can take my students or my audience to different web pages. Okay, so now you should be looking at one slide in which it says click here or join a presentation in Mentimeter. You just have to click there and enter the code. What is the code? I will repeat it again. It is 483064, and I'm going to post it in the chat so you can get it. And Jimena can help me rewriting it. 483064. So 483064, for the people that couldn't enter to Nearpod, don't worry about it. I just want you to stay here with me, okay, in Zoom. So you will get to know all these digital tools by just looking at the screen, okay? Good. So in Mentimeter, are you guys there in Mentimeter?
Yes.
Yes, okay, good. The code is 483064. 483064.
I don't have the link to meet that.
I'm sorry, the code doesn't work.
48, 30, 64. It should be working.
No, it's not working.
Yeah, it's not working, the code.
Okay, let me refresh my page here.
It doesn't allow us to get in.
The code doesn't work.
What does it say? That it says like that the code doesn't work?
No, the code couldn't be found.
Yeah, it's different.
Okay, so try this one.
That is not the code.
37, 31, 20. 37, 31, 20. Try that one, please.
That one work out. It works well.
That one worked, right?
37, 31, 12.
20.
It's working.
Okay, it is working. Thanks, God. Okay, 37, 31, 20. I posted again. So now, okay, I can see that you guys are already answering. So in Mentimeter, one of the things that you can do is this one. You can post a question like the one that I posted, which is, what digital tools have you used in your EFL, ESL classroom? Okay, so I can see that you have used Google Classrooms. I can see that you've used speakers in Focus, Zoom, Kahoot, Edmodo, Google Meet. Okay, there are a lot. Okay, there are a lot of applications that you have used in your classrooms, which is really cool. Somebody wrote Jessica and Carolina. That's good. YouTube. Okay, it is great to know your names too. And however, you have to read the question and try to answer what I'm asking you. Okay, so it is really important to follow instructions. Google Classrooms, Zoom, okay, audio visual aids, Moodle. All right, okay, very good. So as you can see,
sorry, I can't enter the link that you just gave us. Was it Mentimeter 37, 31, 20?
the code is 37, 31, 20. Yes, that's the code that Mentimeter is going to ask you to join. All right. If you cannot do it, you can stay with me here in Zoom and I will explain, and you can see how the teacher actually sees the screen and how the teacher sees what the students are posting. Okay. For example, the people that could do it, that could connect, they are writing all those things that you are looking at there. And with this tool, you can actually identify high achievers that already know some words about the topic you are about to teach. Okay, so you can start your class by asking your students to brainstorm ideas, to brainstorm words, verbs, connectors, or any other type of vocabulary that you want to ask your students to write down. You can actually do it, and with that you can introduce the topic. Okay, you can identify those like low achievers or students that haven't had any experience or that don't know anything about that topic, that don't even know one word, or probably you can identify those students that are still having problems with spelling. Okay, you know, spelling is really important when writing, so you can start like giving students feedback right away. Okay, I'm going to change. I'm going to move. I'm going to show you the next slide here in Mentimeter, and I have another question. This is another feature that Mentimeter allows you to do as teachers, and the question that I have for you is this one: which digital tool do you know the most? Okay, so with this one, I can see right away that you are answering, and I can know how much you teachers or the audience or the students know about any specific topic. Okay, so in this case, I can know how much you know about these tools, so I can take a longer time explaining the one or the digital tool that you don't know that much. For example,
Andrés?
I can see here. Yes, Jimena?
Just for your information, teachers who haven't been able to access the app are writing on the chat. So just for you to have an idea, teachers are mentioning Moodle and Google Classrooms.
Okay, that's great. And if you look at if you go back to Zoom, you will be able to see what I'm looking at. And here it says that most of the teachers have already used Google Chrome and Google Docs. Okay, some of them have used Mentimeter, the one that we're using right now, and just 1% have used Nearpod. Only 2% of the teachers here have used Write and Improve, okay? And the 10% my own. But most of the teachers that are here connected, they answered that they have used Google Docs and Google Classrooms, okay? So as I told you before, this allows teachers to know how much the students know about any specific topic. In this case, I know by heart that you have already used these two tools. Okay, something else that you can do here with Mentimeter. Okay, remember, if you were not able to access to Mentimeter, I just invite you to go back to Zoom, because I'm sharing the screen so you can see all the things that I'm doing. Okay, all the things that I can see. Here in Mentimeter, you can't upload any picture. Okay, so I just upload this one, the connectors in English, which is really important when writing. Okay, so it is really relevant, okay, to teach students how to use connectors, okay, to add, to connect ideas, to contrast ideas, to show cause and effect ideas. Okay, so here you have like lots of connectors and they're categorized. All right, and if you want to link like this image that I'm showing you in the next slide, you can actually show the students how those connectors are used in a real context. Okay, it is really important for them to see all those words or vocabulary that you're teaching them in a real context. Okay, otherwise they will get the idea that the English class is only for them to memorize like a list of vocabulary, a list of grammar structures, okay, and pass an exam. Okay, as you know, they are really, really good students and they have a really good memory. They can memorize whatever they want, but then they take the test, they pass the course, and there's not learning at all there, okay? Just because they're memorizing. So one of the strategies is that instead of just giving them a list of words, isolated words, you have to show them how people actually use those words in a piece of writing or something like that, in a written report. Here you have some top tips for writing, okay? And here you can see how the writer used some of the connectors that I just showed you in the previous slide, but also how to express an opinion with expressions like I think that, in my opinion, all right? As you can see here in Mentimeter, the teachers that really liked that like picture or image that I just uploaded here, they're able to click on the heart, so you can actually like it. All right, so that's part of the interaction that you can have with your students. But moreover, if you want your students to come up with something, to write something here in Mentimeter, you can actually do it. So in the next slide, I create this one, ask me anything. So I can see that I can ask my students, or I can encourage my students to write a question. And when they write a question, for example, you can actually check if they are able to actually use the grammar structures that they learned correctly, if they have spelling mistakes, and right away you can give them like instant feedback. Okay, so if you want, why don't you write a question here? Okay, I invite you to write a question here, and let's see how it works. Okay, go ahead, write anything just for you to check, to explore, and to see that it actually works. Okay,
No one wants to give their age away. Huh.
No. Okay. Okay, teachers, don't be afraid. Come on, you're gonna write any question. It doesn't matter if it is about this topic or whatever. I just want you to write something just to check. How old are you? All right, yeah, we got a question. That's good. Number 2. So here as a teacher, I can use this button to see all your questions. We have 39 questions now. Okay. Well, let me do something. I'm sorry about it. How old are you? I have to mark as an answered, and then, well, I don't know what's going on here. All right, let's move on. Something else that you can do here with Mentimeter is, for example, this one. Rate these rules for working together. In the right part of the screen, you have like some prompts for the items. Have a lot of fun, be on time for meetings, help each other during stressful times, and you can rate all those things that I have here. And as soon as you start like answering, there are some bars that are going to appear, and those bars are going to show me the results. Okay. I want to invite you to go back to Zoom. So forget about Mentimeter. I want you to go back to Zoom so you can actually see. What the teacher can see. All right. So I want you to go back to Mentimeter, and I'm going to show you the first slide. In the first slide, these were your answers. Okay, so lots of teachers wrote that they know how to use Google Classroom, but there were answers like Powtoon, Google Tools, book platforms, videos, laptop, paddle. All right, these are the things that you answered, and as I told you, it is a really great tool just for you to introduce the topic. The second slide looked like this one. Okay, so I know that you are like somehow masters using Google Docs and Google Classrooms. Okay, actually our next digital tool is Google Docs, so we're not going to spend a lot of time there because you already know how to use it. But however, there are some teachers that don't know, and I have to show it. Okay, the third slide, as I showed you before, well, the images that you can add. Okay, this is another picture. Here you have the questions. Okay, can we upload videos on Mentimeter? You cannot do it. All right, you cannot do it. But let me tell you what you can actually do here. So in the left upper corner, here in Mentimeter, what I'm showing you, you click on this button, add a slide, and on the right part of the screen, you will be able to see all the possibilities that you can do. So you have a multiple choice questions, you have a word cloud, you have open-ended questions, all right? So if you want to ask your students to write down something, you can ask them by using Mentimeter, and you can read what they're writing, and you can provide them with rich feedback instantly, okay? You can create a quiz. Okay, it's the one that you're looking at. You can create this type of exercise, type answer. You can create different slides. Okay, so if you don't want to use all the time PowerPoint presentations, Mentimeter is a really good tool. So you can create like a heading slide, paragraph slide, bullets slide, and you can do all these things with Mentimeter. Okay. For the people that just arrived, I just want to repeat this information. At the end of the session, I will provide you with the links just in case that you want to explore a little bit more about any of the digital tools that I'm about to, that we are showing, that I'm showing you. So you will be able to get all the answers by means of using those links. Okay, and moreover, at the end of the session, we will have room for all the questions and to interact. Okay, now the next digital tool that I want to show you is Google Docs, but I want you to go back to Nearpod. Okay, Nearpod. I want you to go back to Nearpod. Remember the link that I just posted at the beginning? I want you to go back to that website, which is Nearpod. Okay, as you can see here, I have my second digital tool, and that one is Google Docs. Okay, as you must know, this is a powerful online word processing. Okay, and it has really useful features which can be used productively in the classroom, especially when it comes to reading and writing. Okay, all you have to do is go to Gmail account. So I'm going to go to my Gmail account and I'm going to show you how it works. So for that, I want you to go to Zoom. Okay, so look at my screen because I'm sharing my screen so you will be able to see what I'm doing right now. I'm going to go to my Gmail account. Okay, in the right upper corner here in this symbol where it says Google Apps, you click there and then you scroll all the way down until you find Docs. Here in Docs, you will be able to create a new doc. Okay, it works like Word. Okay, but the good thing is that you can share that document with everyone. All right, so you can create a new doc or you can use any doc that you have used before. In this case, I'm going to use this one that I have here, Reading Strategies. So I'm going to open the Reading Strategies doc, and here I have some information about how to write a paragraph, which is really important. And here I have my objective. Okay, so I can't edit this anytime, anywhere. Okay, I can write anything that I want here in this document. I can create an objective and I can create all the activities that I want. Okay, so in other words, you can structure or you can plan your classes by using docs. For example, here I have my objective, which is understand the steps to write a paragraph. And in the final task, I mean the final activity, I'm going to ask my students to come up with a paragraph about social networking websites. I can add images here, paragraph writing, topic, sentence. You know that even a paragraph has some steps that need to be followed, like start with a topic sentence, then you need to give some supporting ideas, then you have to add some details, and you have to finish your paragraph with a concluding sentence. I can paste and post like information here from a website, okay, like this one, or from an article that you already have, that you've been using throughout a lot of time. So if you want to use that, you can paste it here. And then you can come up with the activities. If you don't want to post all the article that you found in a web page, well, you can paste some links here that will take the students to that particular video, to that particular web page, all right? And here I have the activities. This is just like one example for you. I ask my students to write a paragraph about the pros and cons of social networking, and this is what they wrote. For example, Carolina Casanova, she wrote that social media spread information. So you can read what the students are writing, and you can provide them with feedback right away. For example, information fast than any other media. So you can see that here Carolina made a mistake, a grammar mistake. Okay, so I can write, I just have to highlight it, and I can write the answer or what she should have written before. Okay, or something that you teachers should know is that it is better not to give them, it is better to to tell the students to look for the grammar structures, okay, to learn, to understand, to do some research about, in this case, comparatives, and then discover what would be the right sentence there, instead of giving them all the time the answers, okay? So for example, you can tell that person to check comparatives rules, okay, instead of telling them what the word is, which is faster, because this is a comparative sentence, okay? So instead of giving them all the time the answers, which is teacher assessment, I would suggest you to use like this strategy, okay, and ask them to come up with to discover the rules. So as you can see, you can check your students' written reports. Moreover, you can ask your students to check their partners' written reports and evaluate them or assess them. Okay, you can ask them to focus, for example, if they had like some grammar mistakes or spelling mistakes, but also you can ask them to, for example, use connectors, the connectors that they saw in previous classes. Well, it would be great for them to start using connectors. So you can ask the students to correct or to check their partners' written reports, and that's something that is called peer assessment, okay? So you know that we have like different types of assessment, but we are all the time working with teacher assessment techniques. Okay, it is really cool if you ask your students or if you promote those peer assessment and self-assessment techniques too. And with Google Docs, you will be able to do that. Okay. All right. Moreover, you can ask your students to comment on their partner's written reports. Okay, what is your opinion about it? You know, if they agree, if they disagree, or something like that. All right, good. As you can see here in this like short paragraphs, for example, Mateo Riaño, he used a connector, but if you read it, you can see that he didn't include any concluding sentence. So here you can add a comment. So don't forget to conclude or to use a concluding sentence in the paragraph. Okay, so you can't comment and you can give them feedback all the time. As I told you before, you can create all your classes. All right, so this one would be like session number 2. Here I posted a picture about reading comprehension strategies, like reread the text, activate prior knowledge by using like a brainstorm activity, the one that we did in Manta Mirror, use context clues. Well, you have here reading comprehension strategies, and then I can ask them to read an article. I can post and paste the article here, and then I can come up with some reading comprehension questions. I can ask my students to create one table here, okay? One table, so they have to write their names and they will answer, okay? It is pretty easy to use. Table. Okay, so I can write here Jimena Lizalde, and I'm going to ask Jimena to read the article and answer those questions. And then I can provide my student with feedback. Okay, don't forget to always like use the links or the reference where you took the information. Okay, in this case, for example, I use this page, which is skills for this one. This one I'm going to open it, so you just can take a look at it. It is really cool. It is a British Council web page, and if you go to skills, you will be able to see that you're going to have lots of reading and writing skills. If I click on reading, then you will have lots of activities that are really appealing for the students. Okay, they're categorized in different levels. I just click on that and I'm going to have like different topics here. If I open one, I'm going to have the whole article, and then I'm going to have some activities. Okay, so you can use this web page if you're interested in, and that's it.
Andrés,
Now,
I'm going to
yes,
interrupt you here for a second just to remind the teachers that you will be sending them the links at the end of the presentation. We won't be sending anything to their emails. You will be sharing all the links with them at the end of this presentation. So please don't send us your email address. Andrés will share with you the information at the end of the session. We will not send it to your emails. Andrés will share it with you later. Please. Sorry, Andrés.
yeah, it's okay. I'll share with you all the information as I told you. I mean, we don't have like a lot of time to go into, to explore every single digital tool a lot, okay, in depth. But what I want to show you is all the things that you can do with these digital tools, and then you will have to take the time to go to these tutorials and webinars that I'm going to share at the end of the session, as Jimena just told you, and you will be able to play with those digital tools, okay, or to explore a little bit more.
I'm also going to stop you for a while because there are two teachers raising their hands, Sofia and Manuel. Please write your questions in the chat room, and I will share them with Andrés at the end of the session so he can provide you with answers. Teacher Sofia and Teacher Manuel, who are raising hands, write your questions in the chat room. Dolores, Wilson, don't send us your email addresses. We're not sending you anything to your emails. Andrés is sharing everything with you at the end of the session. Sorry, Andrés.
It's okay. All right. Okay. So now, teachers, I want you to go back to Nearpod, and let me tell you something. If you want to take docs, I mean, this tool that we're using right now, to the next level, you can create a class by using Google Classroom. I mean, if you want to take docs into the next level, then you will want to use Google Classrooms, okay? So if you go back to Nearpod, you can see that we're going to be now here in Google Classroom. Here you have the information about this website, or this digital tool, in which teachers can facilitate online discussions. You can actually create group projects. Teachers have complete control over students' comments and posts, which is so relevant. And well, there are different ways to make learning interactive, okay, and collaborative, okay, and it offers teachers to differentiate assignments, which is pretty cool, because you know that sometimes we have this like low achievers that need like more exercises, or sometimes we have these high achievers that finish so fast and they switched into Spanish and they start doing different things. So you will be able to create tasks for that population, or for those fast finishers, or for those that need more work, okay? So, which is great. You can include videos, you can include web pages, and all the, if you want to use Google Classrooms, you want to, once again, as we did with Google Docs, you have to go to your Gmail account, okay? So I'm going to do it again. Go back to Zoom, because I'm going to show you how it works. All you need to do is to go to your Gmail account, and then you have to go to the right upper corner, here where it says Google Apps. You scroll all the way down till you find Classroom. So this is the symbol, okay? You can use it. With just one click, it opens, and then it will allow you to create a class, okay? So here in this tab where it says create or join a class, in the right upper corner of the screen, you will be able to create a class or to join the class. If you create a class, you will have to, read and accept this policy that is here. You click on continue, and then you will have to fill out this format, okay? I already did it, and I create this one. So if you want to take a look at this, this was what I entered. I just wrote down the digital learning tools, I didn't write anything for the section space. I wrote technology, room 1. So probably you might want to write something like 3rd grade, 5th grade, 11th grade, subject, language arts, or English, or whatever you want, okay? Then you can open your class, and here you will be able to do different things. For example, you go to classwork, okay, here in classwork, and in classwork, you will find this tab or this button that says create, and in create, you will be able to create assignments, quizzes, you will be able to post a question, you will be able to add material, and you will be able to create any topic, okay?
Andrés,
so I want to show you, yes?
Sorry to interrupt. Teacher Fernanda was asking us if there's a limit of the number of students that can be in a class.
That can be in a class.
Do you know?
I think there's not a limit, okay? Not here. In Manta Mirror, there's a limit, and in Nearpod, there's a limit because they use like these free versions and premium versions, okay? But not Google Classrooms, okay? So with Google Docs and Google Classrooms, you can add as many students as you want because it is completely free, as far as I understand.
Thank you. Also, I might be able to answer this one before you move on. Teacher Guadalupe is asking us if Classrooms requires less internet than Zoom. Truth is that it's a matter of what you are streaming. If you're streaming audio, video, and a presentation like we're doing now in Zoom, you will require a higher bandwidth to stream everything together. But what you're doing in Google Classrooms, what Andrés is going to show you is how to upload content, which doesn't require streaming multimedia at the same time, right?
Right, yeah. So everything that you upload here can be seen by the students at any time, okay? So you can, if you want, you can connect with students, okay? You can show them what they are supposed to do, what you are expecting from them, what are the activities, you can give them instructions, you can give them the steps they have to follow, and they can get access to the class, all right? And they can work at any time. So they can watch the videos, they can read the articles. Let me show you how to create an assignment, and I will be like answering that question, okay? But yeah, as Jimena told you, well, it depends, okay? But, well, the students can get access there, and you don't have to be connected all the time.
Andrés,
All right.
Andrés, sorry, before you create the class, a teacher asking us whether multiple teachers can manage the same class, or is it only one teacher per class? When you create a class, can you assign more than one teacher to that class?
Well, you can join. Let me go back here.
To the previous process, maybe.
Yeah, where it says, let me see, here, where it says creator join the class. Well, ask your teacher for the class code, then enter it here. It means that there's only going to be one teacher. Yes, and the rest of the people are going to be students. All right? Yeah, because if you want to share the same class with another teacher, you will have to share your Gmail account, which is not possible. All right? So there's going to be one teacher and lots of students joining the class. All right? Good. Well, so in classwork here, when I click on create, so as you can see, you can create lots of things here. I'm going to create an assignment. So as soon as I click there, there's going to be this, a title. So I'm going to, for example, write reading strategies. Reading strategies, okay? And here in these buttons, the ones that say add and create, let me show you create first. You can add a Google Doc you can add a slide, you can add a sheet, you can got a drawing, you can add a formed sheet in which you can actually create quizzes, all right? And here in this button add, you can add a Google Drive document, you can post any link that you want your students to use, you can add any file that you have in your computer, or you can add any YouTube video. For example, if I want to add any file, so I'm going to be able to upload any file that I have stored in my computer, okay? Or I can, for example, use the ones that I used before, like this one that we worked with in the previous digital tool. I just click there and I click on add, and then my students are going to get access to that Google Doc. If you don't want your students to have this one, well, you can create a new one like this one, all right? And you can ask your students to create or to write something, to come up with an essay, to come up with a paragraph, to come up with some list of words, all right? And here in instructions, you can write as many instructions as you need, as you want, all right? Something really cool is that, for example, you can add a video, okay? I'm going to write again the same. Reading strategies. You click here, and without going to YouTube in Google Classroom, you can add any video that you want, all right? So for example, I'm going to choose that one, and I add it to my assignment. So for example, my assignment is, I want you to watch the video, and then I want you to write down a short paragraph, okay, in which you summarize the content of the video. Or I want you to read this article because I want my students to read the article, and I want them to read the article that I found in this link. Or I want my students to read an article that I have been using for a long time because I think it is really important and interesting. So as you know, and as I already told you, you can add any file that you have in your computer, okay? Something really cool is that, for example, if you create, if you use this one, Forms, if you use Google Forms, you can create questions, you can create a quiz. So you can ask your students to read the article, and then you can post your reading comprehension questions here, all right? You can create multiple choice questions, you can ask your students to write a paragraph, you can, well, you can do lots of things. You can actually create a drop down activities, you know, in which they have to fill out some spaces, but they have some drop down, like, they have a drop down button with lots of options for them to choose and answer. So as you can see, this is so complete. And in the right part of the screen, you will be able to somehow give some points for that assignment. So if you want your students, I mean, after they finish that assignment, you want to give them 100 points, well, that's what you're going to get. If you want to use, like, if you want to give them 10 points, well, you can give your students as many points as you want, okay? You can, as I told you before, you can differentiate, all right? Because you can post this assignment or assign this task for everybody, or for some students that need to work a little bit more. And you can choose a due date. For example, I want my students to read and watch the video and to come up with a paragraph by the end of this month. Okay, so as I told you before, the students are able to enter at any time, okay, and start working and you know, post their answers and stuff. Good, nice. Okay, so I want you to, okay, then when you create all those things, the only thing that you have to do is to click on assign. All right. And in assigned, you're going to have this one, reading strategies. And if you want to create, okay, you can edit, you can delete it, or you can copy a link. Okay, here, this one that says the best job in the world is a question that I just posted. So I posted, what is the best job in the world? And then I ask my students to answer the question by means of an argumentative essay. You know that what is the best job in the world? It doesn't have like a right or wrong answer. It depends on how the students like answer that. All right, how many details they give, how many supporting ideas they give to that answer. So I add this article, and then I add a YouTube video for them to get some ideas and some insights before actually come up with an argumentative essay. So you can do all these things here, and all the assignments or the quizzes or the questions that you post are going to be stored here in order. All right? Good. Nice. So now what I want you to do, teachers, is go back to Nearpod, because we're going to have like an interactive activity. And in Nearpod, what I want to show you is that you can't upload PowerPoint presentations like this one. Okay, for example, this information that you're looking at in Nearpod is just a PowerPoint presentation that I just uploaded here. So you don't have to create a PowerPoint, you don't have to create a presentation from scratch. If you already have it, because you had used it before, you can upload it here. All right. And the next slide, in the next slide here, as you can see, and if you are in Nearpod, I'm asking you one question. What's your favorite digital feature so far? So once again, I can see my students, in this case, you teachers, writing down, okay? Writing down, and I can see if you, for example, are making some spelling mistakes or something like that, so I can once again provide my students with instant feedback. Sully Oliveros, for example, wrote Nearpod, and she hasn't seen yet all the features that Nearpod can actually do. But I'm really glad to read that you already like Nearpod, because this is a really great tool that you can use. Gerson wrote Nearpod 2, Maria Laura Guerrero wrote Manta Mirror. That's pretty cool. And you can like click on that little heart, okay? So the students like somehow feel motivated. So this is just one way to interact with the audience while you are teaching something, while you are delivering a webinar like this one, while you are like presenting any topic. You can interact with the audience, and you can let the audience like, or you can know yourself what the audience think about the things that you are teaching them. Okay, Janina wrote Nearpod, Mentimeter, Nearpod, Google Classroom, Docs. Okay, very good. So we're going to move on to the next slide. And here we're going to have Write and Improve, okay, which is a really great tool with lots of writing tasks for every single level and about really appealing topics for the students, okay? The tasks, the writing tasks, the written tasks are already designed, okay? And they're classified, which is so cool. However, if you want to create a different topic, if you want to ask your students to write about any specific topic, you can actually do it. But this is important for you to know that Write and Improve provide teachers and students with written tasks that were already created, okay, for any particular level. With this app, I want to show you another feature Nearpod has, and I'm going to let this tool present Write and Improve for me, okay? So I'm going to use Nearpod in order to show you the information you need to know about Write and Improve. So this is a different thing that you can do. And probably I'm answering one of the questions that one teacher asked me before. Somebody asked if Mentimeter allowed the users to post videos. Well, you cannot do it in Mentimeter, but you can actually do it in Nearpod. For example, I'm going to show you the next slide. And in the next slide, we're going to be able to watch a video about what? About Write and Improve. I can decide if I want if I want my students to use their own devices to watch the video, or if I want my students to only watch my screen. So in that way you can control your students. So you can, if you allow them to use all the devices or the devices they are working with, probably they're not going to watch it. But here, if I choose this device only, you will be able to see the video only if I record it, okay, if I played it. So we're going to watch Write and Improve Information. This video takes like 4 minutes. All right, so I want you to take a look at this one, because this is a really great tool and it will help you a lot with your students, and it will help you and it will help a lot of students to get lots of feedback. And well, you're not going to have to read every single written report, because Write and Improve is going to help you a lot, and Write and Improve is going to evaluate those written reports for you. Okay, so you will take that time in order to give them more recommendations or different recommendations for their students. So we're going to watch the video right away.
These are clearly impressive figures behind Write and Improve, the exciting new tool available to teachers and students of English around the world. The apparent simplicity of the user interface belies the intelligent technology that drives it. Even as you watch this short introduction, Write and Improve is itself learning and evolving, consolidating its place as an engaging and comprehensive learning experience at the forefront of technology. Write and Improve helps teachers to support their students, as well as encouraging learners to have a go themselves. Learners can dive straight in, no need to register or log in, and it's free to use. The potential to write and to improve is accessible to learners at every level of ability, from schools and colleges to the world of business and commerce. To engender and sustain a real enthusiasm for learning, Write and Improve offers a wide range of subjects to write about. There are different levels depending on the learner's capabilities, along with the range of prompts which reflect what the learner might face in their exams. From the student's perspective, the system is beautifully simple. You write, you submit your work, Write and Improve reviews and returns it in a matter of seconds. This very simplicity underlines the dynamic power of the tool. Not only is it fast, but it is also context-aware. In other words, it can assess whether a student's response is relevant to what was asked. In fact, the system comprehensively coaches the learner and helps them to focus on areas of improvement. One of the most exciting features of Write and Improve is the intelligence with which it gathers and incorporates data progressively through use. And as the tool refines itself, it engages the user, encouraging them to take personal responsibility for their development. And this is just the beginning. Write and Improve's data is a vital input in a variety of wider research projects like Cambridge. The great joy of the system is the sheer functionality and flexibility of Write and Improve. The clue is in the name. The student can write and submit, then using the feedback, rewrite and resubmit again and again, gradually correcting and refining before moving on to a different topic with a new vocabulary and new challenges. It would be stretching it to claim that Write and Improve has a personality, but learners are encouraged to feel that they have an expert by their side as they learn, supporting them, coaxing them to move up the levels. Special encouragement, they are awarded badges of different grades to celebrate their achievements, which they can share with other learners, friends, and family. Workbooks are a powerful way for learners to create and customize their work, as well as share their experience with fellow learners. Teachers can also assign workbooks to a whole class and then track their progress. We could go on, demonstrating the amazing functionality of Write and Improve.
All right, so we're going to stop here, okay? So great, isn't it? So if you want, for example, you can ask your students to write their own paragraphs or their essays in Google Docs. You can give them feedback, okay? You can assess them. And then they can actually post their final versions here in Write and Improve and see what happens, okay? As you can see, writing is a scaffolding process, okay? So it goes step by step, okay? Students need to get feedback, all right? And well, after like many attempts, they can come up with a final version, all right? And I just wanted to show you this video because I wanted to show you that in Nearpod you can upload videos and you can do these type of things, all right? So let's move on. Now, here, what I want you to do, or what I want you to show you, is that you can ask your students to come up with a short paragraph about the video, the video that they just watched, okay? This is just an example. Write a short paragraph about Write and Improve web page, and let your partners know what you think about this tool, okay? So after like reading something, after like watching a video, you can ask your students to write down about the content of that video, and you will be able, as teacher, you will be able to see their responses, and you will be able to assess them right away, okay? And you can ask their students to check what they just wrote in that question and use Write and Improve to check if their spelling and these grammar structures are okay and stuff, okay? So this is something that I don't want you to write. So I don't want you to write a paragraph about Write and Improve, but this is just for you to know another feature that Nearpod has, so you can actually use it when you plan your classes. All right, good. So let's continue with the next one, and the next one is Mayan. Okay, some people answered. Let me show you. Let me give you the right percentage. 10% of the teachers here answered that they know Mayan. Okay, Mayan, is a really great tool. Okay, if you have found the previous digital tools interesting, let me tell you that this one has all main features I've mentioned so far. And if you want to get access to Mayan, well, you have to go to the web page. Okay, I'm going to enter with my demo account, which is this one, and I'm going to show you some features Mayan has, okay? But if you are interested in knowing more about Mayan, you can contact your local Richmond consultant or coach, and that person will be glad to let you know everything about this powerful tool, okay? Here in Mayan, okay, it is sometimes sold like a library. So when the first thing that comes to your mind when somebody else tells you that it is a library, you just can think of reading, okay? Developing reading like skills. But let me tell you something. With Mayan, students can actually work with listening. They can actually work with pronunciation. They can actually work with writing skills. And if you want your students to practice with speaking, well, with a follow-up activity in the classroom, you can ask your students about the content of the video and stuff. Okay, this is really complete. And let me tell you something. I'm going to go to the library. And in the library, I'm going to have these tabs: recommended, browsed, my list, search, and standards. In recommended, this is my teacher account, but in recommended, the students will be able to find the books that the platform suggests the students to read, because Mayan personalizes reading, okay, which is really great. Let me tell you something. The first experience that the students have when they use Mayum is that they have to answer a diagnostic test, so the platform knows what the real English level of the student is, and after that the students have to answer a questionnaire about their likes. Okay, so the platform knows what the English level of the student is, but also what is it that the student likes to read. In that way, the platform recommends some books, which is so important. Now, if I go to browse, in browse I'm going to find more than 7,000 books, which is so great. And we, as you can see, we're going to have like different categories. All right, so not only the English teacher is going to be able to work with this platform, but also the science teacher, the maths teacher, the literacy skills teacher, all right, social studies teacher. The whole school will be able to work and create a really reading atmosphere, okay, by using Mayum. When you have 7,000 books, okay, the only thing that you have to do is to let your imagination, go beyond and, assign some books, but also encourage students to actually start loving reading, okay? If I open here in science, I'm going to have these categories. And if I open technology, for example, I will have 428 books, as you can see here, okay? I'm going to open anyone. For example, I'm going to open this one about genetic technology. But before I actually read this book, I can get all the info about the book. So, for example, I can see that this book has a Lexile level of 960. Okay, the Lexile level is like it is a framework that is aligned with the Common European Framework of Reference. I mean, the levels of performance. And for example, a 960 level is like B2, B2 level. All right, so you will be able to see all the information about the books, so you can choose the most suitable book for students to read. Okay, I just have to click here, and this is the experience that the students. I'm sorry.
What are the issues with genetic technology?
All right, as I told you before, it is not only about reading skills, it's also about listening skills because they're audiobooks, okay? You can't stop the narrator or you can let it go, okay? I'm going to play this one.
Genetic technology. If you were a parent, would you want to choose features for your baby? Would you choose the color of the baby's eyes or hair, or choose the gender? Maybe you want the baby to have a budding talent in math, music, or sports. Scientists are studying how to choose or change the feature.
All right. So the experience the students have when they read is one of a kind, since they can read and at the same time listen, but also they will be able to, for example, use a dictionary that is right here if they do not understand any word of the ones that are here in the reading. For example, if they don't understand like choose, I just click there and I'm going to have here not only the definition but also the pronunciation.
Choose.
Okay, for example, if they do not understand this one, okay, you just click there and you're going to have like the definition. All right, another tool that they can do is that they have these toolbars in which they can add some comments. They can highlight the words that probably they didn't know. Okay, they can write something down in the journal. For example, they can keep a journal and write whatever they want here. Okay, and you as teacher will be able to see what the students write down there, so you can once again provide them with feedback. Okay, so you have the students are able to use figures to to highlight the words, to use this tool. There are lots of tools, and the experience that the students have here is amazing. All right. Okay, I'm going to go back to the menu, and I just want to show you probably the most powerful tool, feature that Mayon has, which is projects. Because Mayon allows teachers to create projects. When you click on project and then you click on create a new project, you will be able to assign the reading, not only to assign the book that you want your students to check, but also you will be able to assign a writing task. You will be able to assign an all-purpose task. You will be able to assign a test, okay? And you will be able to assign a graphic organizer. For example, if I want my students to read a book that I just explored in advance, I have to fill out this format, okay? For example, I'm going to write anything here, reading, and then you click on Manage Books. In Manage Books, you will be able to find a filter. And in the filter, if you don't know the book, if you know the book, you can write down the name of it, and you're going to have here the books that you want to assign. You select them. You can select 1 or 2 or 3, or as many books as you want to assign to the whole class or to one student, okay? And you can for example, filter by Lexile level. So if you know that your 5th grade has a level from 300 to 500, so you can actually filter those books that are in that range. You click there, find books, and then you're going to have, okay, I have to erase this again. I'm gonna do it again. I'm just filtering, find books, and I'm going to have these books. Okay, you can do it like that, or you can go to browse and check the books, and if you know the name of the book, you can type it here. You can filter by level of English. You can filter by, for example, this one, fiction and non-fiction books. You can filter by year level. Well, you can use all these tools in order to choose the most suitable book for the students to read. Here in order tasks, you're going to have the tasks that you are creating. So after the reading, for example, I want my students to come up with a reading report. So I'm going to write the title. I'm going to write my objective. So the objective could be like, write down a list of words that you didn't know, write down a paragraph, write down an essay, an argumentative essay, a descriptive one, okay? So you can actually here create a word goal, which is so great. This is optional, word goal, because you can start preparing students to take those international exams, right? You know that, for example, in IELTS, you just have to come up with an essay about 200 words, and you just have like a time limit of, but not pretty sure, but if you want, you can ask your students to write that 1,200 words essay in just 20 minutes, okay? Just for them to start like practicing and getting familiar with the time, okay? And with those international exams formats. This is a really good tool that you can use. If you want your students to use this like a forum in which they can read what others have posted and comment, well, you can activate this peer review section, okay? And then the students will have to write down that reading report. If you want, for example, your students to create a graphic organizer, okay, while they're reading, so you can add any of these that you have here. You can create this one, KWL chart, which is like what I know about the book, about the content of the book, or about the topic, what I want to know about the topic, and at the end, when they finish, what I learned about that. book, okay? Or you can create this one, Venn diagram, if the objective is to look for differences and similarities between, for example, the main characters. Or you can use this one, the main ideas and details, cause and effect, event timeline. Well, you have different options here, and once again, you create the project that you want with all the tasks that you want your students to complete. Okay, you can move them. All right, you can use this, for example, this all-purpose task to ask your students to do some research. And if you want them to, for example, explore a web page or a video or something, you can paste the link here, and Mayon will take those students to that place so they can read or get some context before actually reading the book that you assigned. All right.
Andrés,
yes, Jimena?
I am going to interrupt you here because there's a teacher asking a very relevant question, I think, for many teachers, whether there is content for younger learners. So maybe at some point you can go back to the library and show them what is suitable for the younger learners.
Okay, sure. So here in library, if you go to browse, well, you're going to have here all books and different categories. But here in search, you will also be able to filter the information. This is just the same tool that I just showed you in the projects section. And well, here, for example, as I told you before, you can filter those books that are for, let's say, beginners and your level. For example, you can use this filter, and then you click here, and you're going to have these beautiful books. Okay, for example, I am responsible. I want to take a look at this one. And let me tell you something, you will be able to find books for every single English level. And for little kids, I mean from K to 12, all right? So for example, this one, I am responsible, which is also teaching values.
I am responsible by Sarah L. Chouette. I am responsible. I do what I should do. I feed my goldfish. I make my bed every morning. I brush my teeth. I help my dad dry the dishes. I practice for my piano lesson. I get to swimming lessons on time. I bring my supplies to school. People can depend on me. I am responsible.
And let me tell you something really important that I didn't mention, is that most of the books, as soon as the student finishes reading the book, there's going to be a quiz. There's going to be like 5 reading comprehension questions for students to well, show their understanding about the content of the book. And that score will be reflected here in the platform, so you will be able to check what the students got, okay, the scores, and you can actually generate reports and stuff. But well, the answer and the example that I just showed you was actually to answer that question. Yes, you have books for little kids, okay, and really nice books, beautiful books. How do you find them? Well, by using the filters that are here, or go to browse, in which you're going to have, like, as you can see here, lots of books, okay, just for you to check. And as I told you before, in every single book, you will be able to see all the information, okay, that you need about the book, if it is suitable for students to read or not, okay? Good. Nice. Okay, so we need to move on, okay? So I'm going to go back to Nearpod. And the next one, our next this is a website. It's called the Cambridge English Portal. Okay, in the Cambridge English Portal, you will be able to find lots of resources, okay, activities, applications. This portal is going to recommend you lots of websites and applications for you to use in order to teach digitally. So I already opened it. It is this. It is not this one. I'm going to close this one. So I want you to go back to Zoom so I can show you how the portal works. Okay, this is the English portal, okay? As soon as you open the English portal, remember that at the end I'm going to share the link. As soon as you open the English portal, you will be able to do like a diagnostic test, okay? So you will be able to diagnose your students. Basic, and it is categorized by different levels, all right? However, if you enter to any of those levels, you will be able to find all the activities that I was just mentioning. Here, you will be able to have grammar exercises or web pages or you know, activities to work with, vocabulary, reading, listening, speaking. You have videos, world news, tools. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to open reading. And in reading, for example, you have all these web pages, as I told you. You see, and activities. I'm going to open this one just for you to check how it works. But well, the idea is that you have to explore a little bit more. You have to play with this portal because it has lots of activities for you to work with. These are like some short stories for little kids. Now that you're asking about little kids material, here you have this one, 3 Little Plays. I'm going to open Dog and Cat. And something that is really cool is that you will also have a narrator here reading, so the students will be, you know, they will get the chance to listen to narrator. Okay, I'm waiting for it to work. And here you have the reading, Dog and Cat, a play about Margaret Hiller. Okay, so I'm going to change this. I'm going to, okay. So I click here.
Go away, cat, go away. It is not good for you to be here.
And the students will be able to listen to.
Why not? I have a little cold. I do not want you to get it. Oh, I see. So I will go away. Cat went away. That is good. I will rest.
Okay, and so on, all right? So as you can see here,
now I feel good, but I am not happy without Cat.
And as I show you, you have different activities and you can explore all the material that this like platform has, okay, this portal, because it is a portal. And as you could see, it is divided into different categories and English levels, all right? Good. I want you to go back to Nearpod. I want you to go back to Nearpod, and we're going to have an activity, last activity, okay? Because our digital tool, the digital tool number 7 is this one, is Nearpod, okay? The one that I use throughout all this webinar, so you could see all the features that it has and all the things that it allows teachers to do and students, okay? Teachers and students to do. So here we're going to have our last activity. So I want you to go to Nearpod, please. And what I want you to do now is to choose one character. Okay, that's what you have to do. You have to choose one character. For the people that were not able to connect, I want you to go to Zoom because I'm showing you what I can see as a teacher. For example, Zuli Oliveros already chose the penguin. Jose already chose a really nice octopus. Maria chose the penguin. We have Jessica. We have Luciana. We have Freddy Orlando. You see? So you start like choosing the character you want. Okay? And this is a short game that you can create in Nearpod in order to create some questions and encourage the students to pay attention to the articles you ask them to read, pay attention to the video you ask them to watch, okay? And then after that, you can come up with an exercise like this one in which you can check for understanding, okay? After you choose your character, I'm going to ask you 3 different questions, okay? Those 3 different questions are about, well, I'm not going to tell you, are about strategies, okay? Strategies that are really important when it comes to reading and writing. So the only thing that I want you to do is to answer, but the most important thing with this activity is that you guys get to know what you can actually do with Nearpod. Okay, so we have like 18 participants. I think that's enough. And if you didn't have the time to choose your character, don't worry. Once again, go back to Zoom and you can see what's going on. So I'm going to click on start. So that was question number 1. Now question number 2. Very good, Gerson. You're in the first place. Luciana is in the second place. And this is the last question, guys. What is skimming? Okay, so congratulations, Luciana. You got the first place. All right. We have Peach, Riera, and we have Maria. Pretty close, Maria Laura Guerrero. You got the 4th place, and Rafa got the 5th one. Okay, that's cool. So you can come up with this type of activities here in Nearpod and check for understanding about a reading or something like that. Now, here I have another one. Did you find any of these tools useful? Why? Okay, so you can wrap up all your class by asking students some questions, all right? Or sometimes you can wrap up a class by, once again, working with assessment techniques, okay? Good. So the next slide, I think, is probably what you were waiting for. And I'm going to give you all links you need, okay? So if you want to go into more detail with any of the digital tools that were presented today, you will be able to. Okay, I'm sorry, there's something wrong with Nearpod. Okay, there it is. Well, I'm going to refresh the page so you can see the picture, because that's probably what you were waiting for.
Yeah, we're getting lots of that. Lots of teachers asking for the links. Please, teachers, once the links are displayed, take a print screen, take a picture. We're not sending this to your emails. Please make sure there you go. Take a picture, take a screenshot. That's that. Uh-huh.
Nice. Okay. I'm going to go back to Zoom and I'm going, okay. Let me see. All right. I think you're looking at me, right?
But we're also looking at your Nearpod screen. I can see the links: Mentimeter, Google Docs, Google Classrooms, Write and Improve.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, we can see them.
Nice. All right, and you can look at me, right?
And I can also see your face. Yes, I can.
All right, that's good. Nice. All right.
Teacher, they are asking me to ask you to remind us if the word cloud option was in Nearpod or in Mentimeter. The little word cloud you created at the beginning.
Yeah, that one is Mentimeter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Good. So, teachers, as I told you, as I promised, here you have all the links. Okay, those links will take you to the webinar, okay, about every single digital tool, specific information for you to get to know the tool you're interested in, to get familiar with it, to play with it, and some tutorials, okay? So just go ahead. You just have to, with all these tools that we have available on the web, you just have to, give your imagination, go beyond. That's it. Don't know, Jimena, if they have like more questions I can answer.
Yes, Andres, they're asking us for the link to the Cambridge portal that you showed.
All right. Sure. So I'm going to post it in the chat, okay?
Yes, please. Teachers, stop writing in the chat so you get the Cambridge link, because if you start writing, we will lose it. Refrain from writing, because Andres is going to copy and paste the link directly to the chat room. Thank you, Andres. Thank you for doing that. There you go. That's the English portal.
Yes.
And Andres is pasting it into the chat room. Please refrain from writing for a few seconds so that teachers can copy it. For MyOn and information on the conditions of MyOn in your country, please contact your local Richmond representative, because it has indeed different access conditions in each country. So if you're interested in MyOn, please contact your local Richmond representative. Let me check. No, that's basically it, Andres. No, we don't do Spanish. We do English, right? We don't do Spanish. I want to thank Andrés for a lovely, very interesting and instructive and full of tools that we can use with students. Thank you, Andrés. Thank you for a wonderful session. I'm getting lots of thank yous in the chat. Thank you, excellent webinar. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Remember, certificates are going to take us a few days to deliver. Don't contact Andrés, don't contact me, don't contact anyone. You will receive your certificates when they are ready in the email address you used to register for this session. Lots of thank yous, Andrés. For access to the recordings, also please contact your local Richmond representative because yes, the session was recorded and the recording will be made available to you through your local Richmond representative. I'm going to let Andrés say goodbye now and thank you teachers for joining us. Andrés.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Jimena, for all your support. And I want to thank everybody here for being that supportive, for participating in this webinar, for participating actively, all right? And, well, that's it. Thank you very much. Stay home, and que viva México. That's it. Bye.
Gracias, Andrés. Take care.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. See you the next one.